India had to pay a long struggle to gain independence. For how many years did we struggle? How many people laid their lives? No sacrifice was greater than the sacrifice for the motherland. What is this spirit called? This spirit is called nationalism. It is a feeling of loyalty and devotion to one's own country. It is a feeling of oneness in which people are bound by common history, economic goals, and cultural heritage. In India, the growth of nationalism took place in the second half of the 19th century. India became united against foreign rule and decided to become independent. This could be achieved by the single feeling of nationalism. The expression of nationalism was enhanced by the French Revolution. French citizens who had the power to constitute the nation and shape its destiny. Many other revolutions, like the American Revolution, the Russian Revolution, also strengthened the idea of nationalism. Let us read the factors that contributed to the growth and development of nationalism. Dear students, you have read in previous chapters how the British exploited India. All sections of society suffered under British rule. The farmers had to pay high taxes. The factory workers received very low wages. The British made no attempt to encourage agriculture and industry. They treated India as a source from where raw materials could be get easily and cheaply. Employment opportunities for the educated Indians were limited. India was made to pay for the maintenance of British army and for the wars that Britain fought. The drain of India's wealth increased poverty in India. Frequent famines were an indication of this poverty. The British considered themselves superior and the Indians inferior. Indian peoples were not allowed to enter in hospitals and parks. They were reserved for Europeans. In trains, some compartments were reserved for the white people, and Indians were not allowed to travel in them. Dear students, all these factors resulted in growing opposition to British rule. The dissatisfaction with British rule brought the people together. After the failure of the revolt of 1857, the British government weakened the terror against the Indian. These revolts and the way they were crushed did not dispirit the Indians. People became more determined in their fight against the British government. India was unified under British rule as one unit. Economic life in India became interlinked after the introduction of modern industries. People from all parts of the country worked in these industries. Dear students, by working and traveling together, caste, community, and regional feelings began to weaken. A feeling of togetherness developed. The railway, telegraph, and the postal system helped people to come in contact with one another. People realized that British rule was responsible for their sufferings. This anti-British feeling was a major factor that contributed to the rise of nationalism. During this period, the glorious past of India was rediscovered. Scholars and writers, through their writings and discoveries, made Indians proud of their glorious past. Scholars and writers like Bankim Chandra Chatterjee gave the famous song Vande Mataram, which helped to spread the feeling of nationalism among Indians. Religious and social reformer like Swami Dayanand Saraswati encouraged the people to give up outdated practices. Swami Vivekananda's message to the people, arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached, appealed to the people. All these writers aroused the hidden patriotic sentiments of the people. Let's understand another factor which contributed to arise the feeling of nationalism. In previous chapters, we have read about the Western education. The British promoted Western education in India. English educated Indians read about Western ideas and writers, and events like the American War of Independence and French Revolution, where people struggled to get liberty, equality, and democracy. They began to criticize the government for suppressing these ideas in India. The English language acted as a unifying factor because people from different parts of India speaking different languages could now communicate with one another through a common medium. The Indian press played important role in strengthening national consciousness. The newspapers of the period highlighted the anti-Indian policies of the British government and asked the people to unite and work for a common cause. Both the English and the vernacular press became a medium to mobilize public opinion and create a feeling of national bonding. The government tried to suppress the growing feeling of nationalism and patriotism by banning newspapers and books. The Vernacular Press Act, passed by Lord Lytton in 1878, crushed the freedom of Indian press, and the Arms Act of 1878 prevented the Indians from keeping weapons without appropriate license. Both these acts aroused strong reactions from all sections of the society. So, dear students, all these factors helped in the spread of nationalism among the people of India. Around this time, many organizations were being formed which raised their voices against the British rule. Some of these organizations, such as British Indian Association, formed by Surendranath Banerjee in 1851, Bengal Indian Association, Bombay Presidency Association, Pune Public Meeting, Madras Mahajan Sabha. However, it was felt that if these regional organizations could work jointly, it would help the Indian people to raise their voices against the British rule. This led to the formation of Indian National Congress in the year 1885.